Just a quick shout out for Naked in the Discord for uploading this deck list. Was good, YouTube, and double was good to all the people that are subscribed. Thank you for being subscribed, and if you would like a double what's good, you just need to be subscribed to the channel. My name is Coach, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing a deck list that was uploaded into the channel's Discord, and the commander for the deck that we're going to be reviewing is Stangg Echo Warrior. Now, honestly, this is the first time I've seen this commander, and if you in particular have a deck tech for one of the commanders that were recently released or a deck list, you can leave that in the Discord. The link to the Discord in the description below, and I can potentially make a video similar to this one, or we'll go over it in a live stream in the future. So I'm going to click on the Stangg. So it says, whenever Stangg Echo Warrior attacks, create a Stangg Twin, a legendary 3/4 red and green human warrior creature token. It enters the battlefield tapped and attack. Okay. For each ore and equipment attached to Stangg, create a token that's a copy of it attached to Stangg Twin. Oh wow. Sacrifice all tokens created this way at the beginning of the next end step. The first card I immediately think about is Sundial of the Infinite. Sundial of the Infinite gives you the ability to just end your turn, and it removes everything from the stack. So essentially what Sundial would read is, it would take away the portion over here where it says sacrifice all tokens created this way at the beginning of the next end step. You would just keep everything you create, which I think would be just an absolute bomb. And Sundial of the Infinite is basically, no, it's a cheap card. So we're gonna take a look at some of the, I think, the artifacts. Let me take a look at some of the prices that we got going on over here first. We got $90 basically in artifacts. Okay, so we have to look at that. 25 in creatures. Okay. 21 in enchantments. 11.79 in instants. $78 in lands. Yo. $8.48 in planeswalkers, and $20.53 in sorceries. When I took a look at some of these prices over here, this, to me, and it's just me, right? You guys do whatever you want to do. I think the only kind of deck I ever want to spend that much money in the mana base is a deck that has 4 or 5 colors. It's sometimes 3 colors, but not really 3 colors, because generally when I play 3 colors, I usually have 1 color more than other colors, so the mana base tends to work out where I tend to have the colors I need in just basic lands. Like, to me, this would be just 18 forests and 18 mountains for me. Maybe a command tower if I had one. Some of the other like dual lands that enter tapped. Totally would play the Kessig Wolf Run that we have over here. Kessig Wolf Run wins games, and it's very political because you can target any creature and give it a buff. But yeah, I think that we could drop $80 off of this list immediately in a 2-color deck, where generally in those colors it's pretty easy to put lands into play, and but that's just what I would do. Do we have Sundial of the Ooh, Naked knows. Naked knows. So we'll get to that card later. We got a Arcane Signet, Belt of Giant Strength. This only targets this commander only targets aura and equipment. Oh wow. Okay, so essentially you get a token. It would be interesting if you get a token copy of a Belt of Giant Strength. What would happen if you had your Sundial of the Infinite, and then basically you could then just keep the token, equip the token to Stangg again, so you have 2 copies of that card, and then create another token, you know? This commander just seems like it just goes at it. This is a pretty powerful card, guys. Dark Steel Plate, newly reprinted. It's a pretty cheap price. Dowsing Dagger. What does this turn into? Add 3 mana of any one color. Okay. It's a decent card to make copies of. Embercleave, I mean, Embercleave wins games. Fire Shrieker, I think like just got passed. It's decent. Double Strike is cool. Cruel Signet, okay. Helm of the Host. Yeah, this card wins games. We have Cauldra Complete. See, there are a lot of commander decks I see play Helm of the Host. We're just gonna go back to this card. And I think in certain decks, like Helm of the Host, if it doesn't just outright win you the game, then this is a card I wouldn't play. But I think in this commander deck, I think it wins you the game. You know? If you can figure out a way to turn off the legendary rule as well, so that you can make token copies of Helm of the Host, that just seems ridiculous. Cauldra Complete, cool. We got a Mask of Memory, which draws a good amount of cards. We got Soul Ring, the Sundial that I was talking about earlier. See, it says exile all spells and abilities from the stack, discard down to your maximum hand size. Damage wears off this turn and until the end of turn effects end. Great card. I feel like this card was $2 at one point. I feel like it jumped because of this commander. So foot boots, yeah, swords, good. And the fact that these aren't legendary is super good. Godo's Maul, okay. If you play Godo's Maul, are you playing Godo? That's the question of the day. Bramble Sovereign. Okay, so you're gonna end up making more, whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, you may pay that. So, I mean, I think we're making tokens when our commander attacks, so I don't think that we could make copies of that, but there has to be something that this card goes well with. Brash Taunter. Like, this is a good card. I generally like to play this card in decks where I want to be pillow for it so that people don't attack me. A Brawn, okay, just gives you creatures trample. It's always good. You gotta wait to discard that. Shishido, we have, you know, or an equipment. You're gonna get some more tokens, and it's gonna buff your creatures by a counter. If you could equip this with a Helm of the Host and get copies of this and just get a lot more counters, would be pretty cool. Elvish Mystics, just auto include. Eternal Witness, one of my favorite cards in the entire game. I want to get a tattoo of Eternal Witness. We have a Frenzied Saddle Brute. Frontier Warmonger. Okay, this card is awesome. This card gives your creatures and your opponent's creatures menace if they attack your opponents. Yeah, Goblin just reduces the cost of each spell. Just kind of amazing. Yeah, Godo, kind of called that. Wow, Godo went up in price. Godo's $4 right now. I felt like Godo was less than $1 not too long ago. Yeah, whenever Godo attacks, you essentially get another combat step. Which I think with this commander obviously works out pretty well. The Guardian Augmenter. Guys, this card is awesome. Gives your commanders hexproof at flash speed. And he gives them +2/+2. This card is so good. This is worth $5. And it's only $1.37 on TCG Player. Okay. Halana and Elena. Yeah, that seems like that could go out of control. Kedis. Yeah, I think like depending on the amount of damage you do with your commanders, I think that this thing could play pretty well if you're doing just like 70 damage to somebody out of nowhere. Because technically, I think the only commander that we have dealing damage is the non-token version of our commander, which is cool, but we could swap that out for more auras and enchantments. I think the one thing that I'm noticing here is that we have a lot of creatures. Like, this is good because this goads to creature and it's equipment that we can make copies of. The same thing with these lizard blades over here, which gives double strike. if I had this card, I would probably take out the Fire Shrieker because I'm playing this. It's just what I would do. Lenoir Elves. See more of this. I like this. Equipment creatures. Yeah, this is oof. This is amazing. This is 79 cents, guys. This card is really good. This card is worth a lot more than 79 cents. Wow. Valda, Keeper of the Flame. Yeah, you got a lot of equipment inside the deck. You know, it seems to me here, and as I was about to say, it seems like you're really leaning into the equipment. We have our first aura. We have Alpha Authority, essentially just give our commander Hexproof. Ancestral Mask. Dude, I was really lucky one time. I was at a LGS and they were selling this in a bin that was 3 for $1. I got like 6 of them for $2. And one copy is $3.99. It's a good card. Didn't mean to click out of that. So next card would be Arnie Slays the Troll. This fights. I mean, you gain some life here. It's kind of like removal, I guess. Bear Umbra. Oh wow, yeah, this is amazing. Bear Umbra is just awesome. Anything with totem armor inside this deck is just super good. Like every totem armor card that exists, I think classification is just I really, if you had a way to untap your commander, because when this enters the battlefield, it does tap your creature. I feel like that would be a what a play, man! What a play. Greater Good. It's always a nice card to play. Keen Sense. Okay, 6 cents. I like the idea. Spider Umbra, yeah, all the Umbras, all of them. Vow Lightning. Okay, so you could use it on your commander to give him a buff, or you could essentially stop an opponent's creature from attacking you. Colony Ambush. You have a Crossing Grip. I like Crossing Grip. I like the split second here. I think Crossing Grip is a good card. Obscuring Haze. Yeah, this card is amazing. Draw cards, keeping him safe, Counter spell, okay. And then the lands. So let me actually just back out. I mean, we got lands, right? Lands are lands. We got Jessica, deal triple damage. Zeriel, which gives at -6 you can get you essentially get another, you get 2 combats at -6. Blasphemous Act, Cultivate, Farseek, Ramping. I've never seen this card in my life before. Fire Spout deals 3 damage to each creature without flying if red, and then 3 damage to each creature with flying. Okay. For 3 mana, it's actually not bad. It's a cool card. Nature's Lore, Rishkar's Expertise, 3 visits, and then Stangg, our commander. So when I look at this, Stangg does not have Trample. And we have a lot of abilities inside here that are buffing our commander's power. And I think, you know, we do have the Brawn here to give our commander Trample. That's 1 card. Embercleave gives Trample and Double Strike. That doesn't give Trample. I think that we want to deal damage. I think that a lot of the cards that we have inside here, unfortunately, don't give Trample. Like, I've seen 2 cards right now that give Trample. I need to I think that for this deck to work, or like if I was to build this personally, I would need a lot more Trample or just ways to give my commander unblockable. Because, you know, this is dependent upon my commander's ability to deal damage. So is this. A lot of these cards over here. Double strike, that does give your commander menace. So we'll count menace and trample under some type of like way to just deal damage. So that's 4 ways to deal combat damage. See, this Halana and Elena deals damage, or buffs our commander, but doesn't really necessarily help us deal damage. Frontier Warmonger, so that's 5. Frenzied Saddle Brute gives haste. I don't know what you would call that. So like the Bramble Sovereign for me, like a lot of these cards like Bramble Sovereign, the Taunter, just Kedis I would take out. The Valda could kind of act like a what do you want to say, like a lieutenant inside the deck. If your commander's not in the game, you can kind of run the deck through this card over here. I would probably take out the two planeswalkers here. So that's at least 5 cards that I think I mentioned that I would take out. And then you just need a lot more ways to be able to deal damage. I mean, I see that you have Rogue's Passage here. We did have the Kessig Wolf run that I saw earlier, so that's just 3 mana, give a creature trample, which is another card. But I think inside this deck, it's so specific, and a lot of these things, like, I'm only really giving 1 creature trample. You know, if I play this equipment as 1 creature, well, technically the token would get it as well. So just creatures that add trample, I think would be really good. And just ways to I think just ways to add trample, you know. I think that while, where's that one card, 7 mana, the classification, you're gonna have a lot of this inside the game where your commander's just gonna be extremely huge. But I think like in the metas that I play, they're so creature heavy that all I would really have is a commander that would just get chump blocked by a Thopter. But if he didn't have trample. And I think unblockable is, to me, unblockable is even better than, unblockable is such a, when you have a creature that has unblockable, it's such a, what's the word I want to say? It's kind of demoralizing. You can't really do anything anymore. Unblockable brings despair, and usually that's like the sign of a really powerful ability. So, Skarg, the Rage Pit, is good as trample as well, so that's another one. So yeah, I think if by taking out some of the cards like this, you would save money if you had to buy this deck. And I also think it would just make the deck more focused, you know, so that when you are playing your commander, that it's just like turn 1 land, turn 2 ramp, somehow you do have a good amount of ramp, turn 3 land, artifact or equipment. You know, a lot more haste inside the deck would also be pretty good. I mean, I think the only card that you have that gives haste that I remember is this over here, and this you would have to play on turn 5. I think even creatures that you could play on turn 2 that you can tap to cast your commander and give him haste. Anything that, I mean, you do have Swiftfoot Boots over here, so that technically would give haste if you can attack right away. Wow, Swiftfoot Boots is actually really strong inside this deck, because Swiftfoot Boots basically, it gives him haste and hexproof, and then the token would have haste and hexproof. And any way you can tutor for Sundial of the Infinite, I don't know how. I know in blue you could with the Trophy Mage, but any way you could tutor for that, I think would make the deck much more powerful. So thank you for this commander. I think that Naked, when you end up building this deck, dude, that it's gonna be a fun commander deck, man. That seems kind of Getting token copies of aura and equipment sounds extremely powerful. And Naked, when you see this video, if you can go into the comment section, just for everyone that's watching this video, if you can comment and let everyone know what you're planning on doing with this deck, so that we all have an idea from your perspective. You know, maybe I'm wrong about talking about removing these cards. Maybe there are lines and plays that you are aware of that I lack the awareness of at this point in time. So you can definitely let us know what that is in the comment section below. Thank you for uploading the deck list, Naked. Remember, if you would like a video done like this for a deck list that you create, you can leave that in the Discord. The link is in the description below, okay? Always remember, eat healthy, okay? Work out every single day. Most importantly, you gotta believe in yourself and subscribe to the channel, right? Peace out, people.